Hey guys, it's Core Ross and welcome to 6 News. Today we're talking about the reputation system and we're going to be breaking down how it's going to work and what we know about it so far. And of course I've talked about the reputation system many times before because it was originally announced a couple of years ago and we've also got it running right now in the background, although it is not doing anything. But that will soon change. We found out on the roadmap for year 7 that in season 2 early reverse friendly fire will be initiated. What this means, if you go around team killing a lot, you will just have reverse friendly fire on by default immediately as soon as you join a game. Now it's possible that your teammates might not know that you have reverse friendly fire on immediately. That might just be something that the game tells you, but of course if you shoot one of your teammates, you will die instead. And most likely you will have to be a serial killer to get this to actually switch on, so you'll have to kill a lot of teammates to activate it. But then in Season 3, that's when things will become a bit more visible. We'll actually get a beta display in-game. Now we do have some mock-ups from the developers that show that your reputation will be front and center on the main menu, so you will see it right there. And also if you go into that, I'll give you far more information, but we'll hit on that shortly. The other thing that's coming in Season 3 is early restrictions on voice and chat. So if you get reported, say, being abusive in chat, the actual Ubisoft guys can go and look it up on the servers because all of that is required. Your text chat is right there. So they can look it up and say, yeah, this person's being terrible and ban you from using text chat. And then voice chat will be quite similar, although they do not record voice chat on the servers. So that is not something they'll be able to look up. So that's going to come down to reporting and probably other people like submitting game clips saying, oh, this person's being terrible in game with voice chat. And they can probably then sanction them that way. And then finally, in Season 4, we get the fully functioning reputation system in the game. Now, of course, this far into it, I am definitely going to wait and see if it actually shows up in Season 4. I could definitely see this being on the roadmap for year 8 in the future. But, if they manage to bring in all this stuff they've got listed here, that'll be very, very nice. So let's go over the details we currently have and, of course, the potential problems and the potential benefits of this reputation system. So let's jump into the mockups that we got to see during the Year 7 reveal that show what the developers are aiming to do and what it roughly should look like. So first of all, on the main menu, they showed that there's going to be a dedicated reputation button that will show your reputation right there, front and center on the main menu. And of course, it'll either be good, bad, or neutral. And then if we go into that, so we might actually get this menu in Season 3, we'll get an overview showing our level. Like I said, the reputation system is already working in the background right now. So when this actually appears in game for Season 3, we'll already have a level. Of course, if you're just a brand new player, you'll probably start at level 3. But if you're a good player, you'll be up at level 5. And if you're a bad player, you'll be down at level 1. This menu is also going to show how you are kind of compared to the rest of the player base. It'll also let you know that you get rewards for being a good person, and if you are a misbehaving person, you will get sanctioned or penalties. And of course, we're talking like this is going to be really bad stuff you'll have to do to get onto the bottom end of this reputation system. Like, you will have to be racist as hell in the text chat. You're going to have to be threatening to kill people every game and stuff like that. And I'm talking about threatening to kill your teammates in real life, not the enemy players. You're going to have to be going out there, putting in the effort to get down to level 1. In this example here that they've made up for the presentation, you can see that one sanction is already activated. It is reverse friendly fire. And it is possible to get this sanction removed over time by simply not team killing. And if you don't already know what reverse friendly fire is, then that is when I shoot at a teammate and I take damage instead of them. But because Siege is such a complex game and you can't just have someone deliberately switch it on and then go fuse and just fuse the objective while your teammates run in and fuse dies but not your teammates, reverse friendly fire does not work on explosives. So you can definitely get around this system by doing that by just team killing all the time with explosives rather than gunshots. But that would just result in more and more sanctions, which we'll get into shortly. But another thing we see here is warnings about potential activations of other sanctions. So in this, it's voice chat and text chat. So they could be disabled in the future if your behavior does not improve. However, this system is not all about sanctions. We're also going to be given rewards for being good. So this is another mock-up for the presentation that we get to see, and it gives us a good idea of what they plan to do with rewards and other stuff. So this is another page in the reputation system called Your Standard. So of course it lets this player know that they're basically in the middle ground for reputation, and it says your strength is friendly fire. So I assume that means that this player doesn't go around team killing that often at all. But it also says your weakness is griefing, so of course this could be like destroying friendly gadgets or things like that, and you're being reported for griefing in game. And then we see something very interesting, which is your modifiers, and this shows a renowned modifier and a battle pass modifier. So of course if you're a good person you would get more renowned and more battle pass per game, but if you're a bad person, you would get less. Now, I don't expect this to be a huge percentage. Like I would imagine at the top end, might be like 5% or something like that. And the bottom end, minus 5%. But certainly this is something they could crank up if they wanted to. And yeah, that could obviously really impact your ability to make renowned, or obviously make a lot more of it. And then underneath that, we've got times reported. So in lifetime, 123, and the last 100 matches, 4 reports. And it says the average is 6 reports every 100 matches. And that's it for the official information we currently have and all these official mock-ups that we currently have. I expect when we actually see this in game, it'll be slightly different, but the basics and the foundations are there. Like I say, the reputation system is already in effect right now, and we should in Season 3 actually see our reputation score. It probably already exists behind the scenes. Now, of course, there's going to be concerns. One thing that is a major problem for me is obviously the times reported and how much that has an impact on your score. Because obviously if everybody knows that there's reputation in place and that can be affected by reports, then it might be that people just report their teammates every single game, or they might just report them simply for not playing well and things like that. But on the other hand, this system has been getting built for years now, so hopefully there is safeguards in place. Like it could be that if someone reports you for chat abuse and they go and look it up and they notice that this player hasn't even used their chat or hasn't said anything bad at all, maybe that can be flagged as a false report and that player's reporting kind of power would be reduced. But that's me getting into speculation now, as we've run out of all the official details that were released. But certainly it won't be long until we see the first iteration of the reputation system, which will be the automatic reverse friendly fire. But that of course will not be that visible in normal games. It won't be till Season 3 where we can actually visually see our reputation score, and we'll also see a voice and chat ban for bad players. Then obviously we will actually see the reputation system in Year 4 if it is not delayed. So let's move on to conclusion. And I'm optimistic that this is going to be a good system that will be brought in. It will potentially help at least some of the basic kind of toxicity go away. It's not going to be foolproof though. Like I say, if you have explosives, you can easily still team kill and things like that. You can still be toxic. There's still plenty of ways in Siege to be an extremely toxic player, but this will just make it that little bit harder. And if you're a good player, you will get rewards with boosts in renown and battle pass points. And I do expect the top end to also have maybe like a signature weapon skin or uniform or stuff like that where you can stand out. Oh, and I should also say that the reputation system, from what we've heard so far, will be visible to you only. But because it's on the main menu, anyone streaming the game will be showing off their reputation to the whole world. But I think that if you're just a normal player, you're the only person that's going to see it. I don't think anyone's going to be able to look it up and check your reputation compared to anybody else's. It'll be also interesting to hear what the sanctions are for the very bottom end as well, like literally the worst players in Siege. Like how badly are they going to be impacted by this? Is there going to be like severe impacts on renown generation, or other things that are really going to be detrimental to playing Siege normally? So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see it all come into play, but it's still a long way away, and it could easily be longer than what it shows on the roadmap as well. But we will get it someday, I guess, maybe, potentially. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.